In this captivating chapter of Threads of the Soul, we embark on a journey through the enigmatic corridors of consciousness, where the lines between reality and the surreal blur into a haunting tapestry of confusion, threads of confusion, if you may. Dreams, typically elusive and fleeting, tend to dissipate like morning mist upon waking. However, one particular dream from my past lingers with an unsettling clarity, casting doubt on its origin as a mere figment of imagination. It's a perplexing contradiction. A vivid dream that felt as tangible as reality, an unsettling uncertainty that blurs the boundary between illusion and reality. This introspective rambling could extend indefinitely, but let's bypass the endless maze and delve straight into the heart of the matter. Allow me to share this haunting episode with you. I woke up in a cold sweat, tangled in the bedsheets, with my heart pounding like a drum. The nightmare that had plagued me for weeks had returned. The horrors, vivid and suffocating, refused to release their grip on my psyche. I struggled to disentangle myself from the tendrils of dread that seemed to seep into the very marrow of my bones. The dream unfolds with a sinister familiarity. I stand alone in a dimly lit forest, shrouded in an eerie mist. Twisted trees with gnarled branches loomed above, their leaves rustling with an unnatural, sinister whisper. An oppressive fog enveloped me, and the air was frigid, sending shivers down my spine. In the distance I could hear faint, mournful cries, like the distant wails of lost souls. The ground beneath my feet was slick, and the wet, muffled footsteps of something unseen echoed all around. Every rustle of leaves, every snap of a twig, resonated like a cacophony of doom. With hesitant steps I navigated through the spectral gloom, an unshakable feeling compelling me forward. The unseen malevolence pursued me, a relentless shadow in the murky darkness. Dread clung to me like a phantom, and a nameless fear coiled within me, tightening its grip with each heartbeat. A clearing emerged, and at its heart stood a haunting gravestone, its spectral presence pulsating with an aura of sorrow. The inscription told a tale of darkness and suffering, mirroring the malevolent force that haunted my dreams. The gravestone beckoned, an otherworldly force compelling me closer. An icy hand clutched at my chest, and yet my body moved involuntarily, drawn into the clutches of the ominous marker. It spoke in whispers that were more of an ethereal murmur than words, filling my mind with dread. It promised unspeakable torment and suffering, and I was paralyzed by its mournful presence. I wanted to scream, to flee, but I couldn't. And then, just as the gravestone's grasp seemed inescapable, I would awaken, drenched in sweat, my heart racing. The nightmare would recede, but the terror it left behind lingered, a haunting reminder of a horror I couldn't escape. As the days passed, the dream began to blur with reality. The cold mist of the forest haunted my waking hours. Mournful cries echoed in the distance, and the malevolent entity's presence lingered beyond the edges of perception. I became consumed by the nightmare, the line between dream and reality blurring until I couldn't distinguish between the two. The fear was constant, the dread inescapable, and I knew that I was spiraling into an abyss of eternal darkness from which there might be no return. Consumed by the nightmare's relentless grip, I sought answers with a desperation that bordered on madness. I immersed myself in the paranormal, scouring every corner of the internet for a glimmer of understanding. The quest became an obsession, a singular purpose driving me to unravel the enigma that held my life in its clutches. One evening, in the dim recesses of a forgotten library, I discovered an ancient book, its pages filled with tales that mirrored my own nightmarish experiences. One passage, hidden within the dusty pages, spoke of a cursed forest, a realm where time itself stood still, and a malevolent entity that haunted the dreams of those who dared to enter. The description matched the setting of my own recurring nightmare. Determined to find answers, I embarked on a journey to locate this cursed forest, convinced it held the key to breaking free from the nightmarish grip that had entrapped me. Armed with the information from the ancient book, I set out on a quest to confront the malevolent entity lurking in the shadows of my dreams. The forest was a remote, desolate place, far removed from civilization. As I ventured deeper into the ominous woods, the fog grew denser, the trees more twisted, and the feeling of dread more palpable. It was as if I had stepped directly into the heart of my recurring nightmare. In the distance, I heard the same mournful cries that had haunted my dreams, and I knew I was getting closer to the heart of the curse. The trees seemed to close in on me, their branches reaching out like skeletal fingers, and I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. At the clearing, I encountered the haunting gravestone once again, standing there just as it had in my dreams. My heart pounded, but I was determined not to let fear paralyze me this time. I confronted the entity, demanding to know why it had plagued my dreams. The gravestone's whispers echoed through my mind, revealing a tragic tale of darkness and suffering, of a soul trapped in the purgatory of the cursed forest. It had lured victims into its nightmare to share its torment, seeking release from its eternal suffering. I realized that the only way to break free from the malevolent entity's grip was to offer it forgiveness and understanding. I reached deep within myself, finding the strength to empathize with the suffering of the entity before me. Summoning strength from the depths of my being, I extended a hand in forgiveness. The gravestone's spectral form wavered, its aura imbued with profound sadness. It let out a haunting wail, and then, as if dissipating into the very mist itself, it disappeared. With a start, I awoke, sweat-soaked but liberated. The dread that had clung to me for so long was conspicuously absent. The nightmare had relinquished its hold, and I realized with surreal clarity that my quest had unfolded not in the realm of reality, but within the recesses of a dream. The horrors, the forest, the gravestone, the library, all had been a haunting illusion, and yet the emotional residue lingered, leaving me breathless in the wake of a nightmare that felt, for a time, too achingly real. Thank you for watching AIK Dastan, where every tale is a testament to the human spirit and every voice resonates with the truth as they perceive it.